What is up, everybody? Is KingFishMack back with another episode of the King's Corner with Piranha StreamCast here on YouTube and Facebook Live. Y'all know the business. Before we get started, I want you guys to like, share, subscribe to the YouTube page if you guys haven't already. And let's get into it. Sorry about this, you guys. I, like everybody else, this morning became aware of a scenario that happened to a young lady from North Carolina who was on vacation in Mexico, in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, for one of their birthday parties. It was 7 of them who had traveled to Mexico, trying to get it in. They get to Mexico and this happens. Watch this.
Okay. Good look, can you at least fight back? No. At least something. At least fight back, something. Get up, bro. Get up.
Yeah. All right, so most of us who come from, ghetto backgrounds, we would look at this and we would say, okay, well, it's a little scrap. Old girl wasn't fighting back, and, that would be a world star moment. Unfortunately, the young lady that was getting pummeled and not fighting back was a 25-year-old lady named Shanquella Robinson. And as it turns out, Shanquella passed away from that beating the next day, according to reports and according to the autopsy report from the Mexican authorities. Now, mind you, she didn't die immediately after the fight. Apparently, the birthday boy arrived later on in that day, and I guess he noticed that Shanquella wasn't, her natural happy-go-lucky self, and so, he began to, I guess he thought something was wrong with her, that she was sick, and so they ended up calling a nurse to come to the villa where they were at. And I guess by the time the nurse got there, she was moving around a little bit, enough to get to the bathroom, but that was about it. She subsequently expired later on in that day. Now, mind you, the 6 friends came back to the Carolinas, to the States, and called the girl's mother, told the mother that Shanquella had gotten alcohol poisoning from Mexico and had expired while she was in Mexico from the alcohol poisoning. Now, mind you, the mother says that from the 6 different friends, there were 6 different stories. The autopsy report comes back. None of them has said anything about this fight, jumping, whatever it was. The autopsy report comes back. Parents get it, and the autopsy report reads that she passed away from a broken neck and a cracked spinal cord or spinal column. So what I would assume is, when she was getting kicked in the back and, punched in her head, her whole body pushed down where her head was almost touching her knees. is probably where her spinal cord got cracked, her spinal column. And that's not something that's going to, kill you immediately. Like, you can bleed out internally, it's a variety of different medical reasons why, you would last 20 hours or so before you pass away. But the causative effect of those punches and kicks, I think, is what actually killed the girl. Now, again, all of the quote unquote friends came back with the story about her having alcohol poisoning. Nobody said anything about whatever fight took place. And none of the friends have been held accountable because it appears that, number one, the FBI had been investigating. This happened, I think, on the 28th of October, right? So the FBI had been investigating and had gotten a hold of this video. And so they knew that the story didn't match the actual evidence, right? However, the United States government's hands are tied. All they can ask for is favors from the Mexican government because the United States has no jurisdiction and no authority over there. Mind you, the medical examiner who issued the death certificate, although he ruled the death to be from misadventure or something, right, due to the broken neck and the cracked spine, he also found that there was no foul play evident. You guys make that make sense to me. So as it stands right now, nobody's being held to answer. Only one of the friends has spoken out, and that was the friend whose birthday party it was. And again, his story is that he didn't arrive until the next day after, or the day of the fight. I guess the fight took place early in the morning. He got there 3:00 in the afternoon, seeing that Shanquella was unresponsive, not herself, and I guess he instituted everybody getting together to call a nurse for her. And apparently nobody told him that there had been any kind of fight, any kind of altercation earlier in the day, earlier in the morning, or that there was any kind of problems. The problem that I have with this whole thing, right, is young woman, and here, let me put some pictures up. This beautiful young woman, Instagram fine. For whatever reasons or another, you go on a trip with people who you are supposed to be trusted, who you feel like you can entrust your life to. And as it turns out, somebody in the group, has some ill feelings for you because, mind you, they had just got there. You in you in Cabo, you're in a big, beautiful villa, you got 4 or 5 days in front of you or whatever, right? Everybody's supposed to get out here and kind of enjoy the time. Like, shit, it's turn up time. And the first thing that you got to encounter getting out the shower or whatever naked is some bitch that got some kind of beef with you. Beef enough to want to put hands on you. And that girl is not a fighter. She didn't even attempt to fight back. So it just seems to me like it wasn't something that just one person just had it in her mind. You know what? Fuck this bitch. I'm fixing to take off on her. I believe that there was probably several people in the group who knew that there was beef. And, again, we all from the ghetto, so, or from the hood rather. And so, a one-on-one fight or whatever, you never fucking think that's going to turn out to be something as detrimental as somebody passing away. But there's something that we always say in the hood, right? Especially penitentiary cats, right? You always say, like, if you're going to fight somebody, you better be ready to kill them because it actually can happen, right? Like, you can be getting the best of somebody and, they fall and hit their head on the corner of a table or, on the fucking sidewalk or anything, right? Bust a blood vessel, and now what? You know, were you really trying to kill them, or were you trying to teach them a lesson, quote unquote? Like, you know, who the fuck are you to be trying to teach somebody a lesson? So if your intent is not to cause, you know, deadly harm to somebody, then why would you put your hands on them at all? Right. And not only that, you know, what kind of friends do you really have where nobody's, you know, pulling you up, you know, on the fact that there's beef, or nobody's trying to intervene? You know, we hear in the background, sounds like a guy's voice who says, dang, Quella, you going to at least fight back or something? And she says, no, I'm not. That ain't what I came here for. And, you know, I'm here really trying to enjoy myself and enjoy, you know, the festivities or whatever, right? And to have to deal with some drama that turns out deadly, it's not something that anybody would ever expect to have to go through. Now think about the six young people who had to come back to the United States without their friend, right? You left together, you're supposed to come back together, man. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what happened. I don't care how it turned out. And nobody's supposed to leave and come back to the United States without, you know, that girl's body, or send it for her parents. Somebody should, you know, okay, look, it's an accident, this happened, whatever, you know, whatever the scenario was, right? This fight turned out bad, you know, but you guys created a whole fucking cover story. You guys all disappeared from social media. Nobody's coming around to kind of give these parents any kind of solace or anything like that. You guys are just like, fuck it. Like, was that really your friend? You know? And if that wasn't really your friend, then what does that say about the state of friendship and how we kind of roll? Have we gotten to a point where it's all about the personal? It's all about what benefits you, not about doing the right thing and standing strong when it comes down to your dog. Like, I'm not going out of the country with some motherfuckers that I don't know. I've been to Mexico. When I went to Mexico, it was 6 of us. All of them, I put my life in their hands. All of them. I'm not going out of the country to go turn up with some motherfuckers that might have some ill feelings for me. And it appears that, you know, old girl either wasn't aware of the fact that there was beef, or she didn't think that it was going to be serious enough, you know what I'm saying, for it to turn out the way that it did. I don't think anybody expected it to turn out like it did. But because it turned out like it did, I think that all the rest of the friends had an obligation and responsibility to come back and be truthful. You know, I mean, you back over here. What the United States going to do? Ship you back to Mexico to go to prison or some shit like that? You got to show some contrition. You know, you got to come back and try to, you know, give some comfort to those parents, to the mama and the dad. And you guys got to kind of represent your friends, because from what I'm seeing, friends like these kind of frenemies, you really don't need no enemies. All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is. I have been KingFishMack. This has been another edition of the King's Corner of Piranha Pond StreamCast here on YouTube and Facebook Live. Like, share, and get the subs up, y'all. All right. Peace.